A tug of war at the U.S.-Mexico border between Venezuelan migrants and Mexican police. Smoke billowing from encampments as campfires lit to keep warm become a danger. There was a fire, this man says, as officers cleared tents with children inside. A lot of officers were rude to us, he added. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol officials say encounters with Venezuelan migrants at the border have more than tripled since last year, up 285%, and a more than 6,000% jump since 2020.
How tense are things at the border right now for these Venezuelan migrants that have made this arduous journey to get there?
There isn't always consistent or sufficient support services for them, especially for younger and for families that struggle to find shelter at times.
More than 7 million Venezuelans have fled the country, according to the UN, hoping to escape an oppressive political regime and economic crisis. But a change in U.S. policy restricting the number of asylum claims have left many stranded in Mexico, where they've set up camps. Over the last couple of weeks, clashes intensifying. In October, U.S. border officials say an agent was attacked with a flagpole during a demonstration near El Paso. Pepperball munitions were fired at the crowd, according to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner, sending migrants running back to Mexico. As for the displacement this weekend, a humanitarian rights official with the Mexican government says the living conditions along the border are now a safety concern. A civil protection ruling behind the efforts to move the migrants, citing the risk of fire to flammable tents, concerns over children drowning in the river, and a risk of hypothermia. Camps were dismantled, mattresses thrown away, and families with children forced to move. But migrants say they're fighting to stay, hoping their visible presence makes more than a statement on both sides of the border.
Nosotros no nos queremos ir, ya que pues nosotros vemos un punto de vista que acá en este muro estamos haciendo un poco de presión a la gente de Estados Unidos para que nos puedan dejar ingresar.
What will determine what happens to these migrants, I think, is in part about policy, but also is in part about perception. And the Mexican government and the Mexico local towns, I think, are going to be big players in how this actually shapes up to be in the next coming months.
Valerie Castro joins us now live in studio here on Top Story. So, Valerie, you see that little boy, that family, and that mother that was forced out of their tent. You have to feel for them. Where do these migrants go now?
There's very few places they can go. They are bused to some nearby shelters, but the space there is limited. There's really not a lot of resources for them there at the border.
And basically, Mexico's calculation on this was that tent city was growing to be too dangerous. Okay. All right, Valerie, we thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.